Good morning. It's 10:30 in the morning here in the UK. 10:30 in the morning. Wow. Anyway, I got Lynne sessions this morning, and we're just waiting for her right now. 10:30, and then we have got another one at 11 o'clock. And yeah, we've got a few on today. And don't forget, if you want to kind of like come on, then be a guest, and then let us know. Yeah, you can do. Um, but let's go and let Jenny in. Hello.
Good morning.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for
Oh,
having me.
so guys, don't forget, if you need to leave a message, please leave the messages in the left-hand column, and do not put in the right because we won't get them. Not at all. So it's 10:30 here in the UK, guys, and we're going to run now to Jenny Lee's sessions. Tell you what, Jenny, nice seeing you.
Good to see you too. Are we live at the moment?
We're live on radio and we're live on podcast.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, okay. So, yes, coming to the screen a bit. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Okay, so Jenny, tell people tell all my listeners and everybody who's listening and watching what you do.
Well, that's taken me a long time to figure out for myself, but basically, I call myself these days a catalyst for change and transformation, creative catalyst for change and transformation, and I help people to become their own medicine, turn trauma to treasure, and in so doing, help the earth a bit. So for simplistically, that kind of means really we have to work on ourselves and look in all those little dark crevices that sometimes we don't want to see because the magic lives there. And when we can get hold of it and transform it, we start to become more in alignment with who we really are. We start to raise our vibration and be able to function in the world in a better way. And when we do that, we connect with others in a better way and bring better things to us. So become your own medicine is really like becoming more and more attuned with who you truly are, not who you've learned to be, letting go of some of the stresses and things, and therefore connecting with others in a bigger way. And through that heart connection, a heart and mind connection, then we're much more effective when we want to help the planet rather than bring more disquiet to it. And I work in very shamanic ways. I work with meditation. I work, my background's counseling, psychotherapy, and shamanic healing. I was adopted by a medicine man in the States many years ago and have walked a long path with Indigenous elders. So I thank them for their wisdom underpinning what I do. And a lot of it's down to really, really listening and hearing the other person and the truth of that person outside the noise of your own self.
Great. You've done it quite a bit. And so what made you get into doing this?
Well, do you know what? I kind of arrived doing it, if you know what I mean. I think I had a difficult path for myself. In my early years, I really wasn't sure I even wanted to be here, and I had quite a job staying here. I kind of felt like I'd arrived in a planet that really didn't really feel like my home. And I think a lot of people often find that a sense of not really belonging and not knowing quite where your place is, or how do you find your place. And so, like most people, especially on a shamanic path, we all seem to have that kind of like lots of challenges, in sometimes more than others. And so through those challenges, I realized, that actually I'm a bit like, I call myself a pearl from the wreckage. A pearl is always made out of grit, aggravating, but out of that aggravation comes something magical. So it's almost like in the journey of becoming that pearl, you realize that all of the adversity that you encounter is actually part of the medicine that brings you into being who you are, when you can find meaning and you can connect with it, which is why I've had to do that for myself and therefore help other people to do that.
Yeah. And the trouble is, sometimes though, when we have some bad experiences, we can learn from our bad experiences and put that into action.
Absolutely.
Have you done that?
Yeah, absolutely. In 2009, my car went over the edge of a road, which had a 60-foot initial drop. So I dropped 60 feet. My spine was shattered, and I bounced, I think, a couple of 100 meters down an unplowed field into a bramble hedge where no one could see or hear me. And there I was with a broken back in a smoking car, thinking, oh my God. And humor is a very big part of my medicine. And I had to laugh because a friend had recorded a CD by Pink from her album, I'm Not Dead. And as my car hit the ground, and you can imagine how I might have been feeling, my glove compartment opened and a CD flew out, and she'd mislabeled it, and she'd actually labeled it You're Not Dead. So the first thing I saw when I hit the ground was a CD saying You're Not Dead. And I really advocate that, you know, the universe talks to us in many different ways. You know, those synchronicities where, you know, someone's going to ring, or you have a problem and you suddenly see a van go by with a significant bit of writing on it, or you sit quiet in nature and you have that inspiration arise within you. And it felt like that was a real reminder, like, okay, you might feel like you're done, but hang on a minute, you're not dead yet.
Okay. So, and when you had your car crash and when it went over, and you had to get yourself better, of course, and everything. Did you kind of like think then, I need to do something in return, need to help other people?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been helping other people long before that, but it kind of, I think it brought in a different quality of helping and energy. It was a long journey for me to bring myself back because my energy field was shattered, my physical body was shattered, my mental state was in trauma, and I had to really, really listen to myself and get the right help to reweave me back into coherence. And so I noticed one of the things that I use a drum and my voice. Which I'm happy to share with you if it's appropriate or time, and I help people. I bring in sound frequencies that the medicine people noticed shifted people's energy fields. So I work with sound and song and vibration to help myself, but I also work with it in ceremony now, and also to take people on specific journeys to help them heal in different ways, or to open spaces and clear spaces, kind of on a spiritual level. But my intuition became much stronger, and my executive function was damaged, as in my memory and my organization ability to some extent. So I have to really rely on my intuition and being present in this moment. So the medicine people would say, you know, that's a gift because now you have to stay more in your heart. And it's a struggle, you know, because we need both.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, show me your drum and tell me what you're going to do, and speak to us through it, what you do.
Okay, well, I guess just for a little snippet, anybody who's listening, and hi out there, shame I can't see you, but I feel your presence. Just close your eyes a moment and maybe put a hand on your heart and just take a breath in. And I'm going to call in what I call a spirit song. And all you have to do is be open to healing and also just enjoy and be present. You don't have to do anything, but I'd like you to honor yourself, because you know what, being human is a challenge, and we're all amazing. And sometimes we don't feel amazing because of the things that happen to us or the struggles that we're in. And coming present and grounding is a really important thing to help us see past the confusion or the disturbance. So I just invite you to, for a moment, honor your own journey, honor yourself, give a bit of love to you, because it's very easy to keep giving to others and forget ourselves, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to call in a spirit song and ask that frequency serves you in whatever way it does. Sometimes people have awarenesses come. Sometimes people see imagery. Sometimes it's just relaxing. So don't worry. Just be present, and it's nice to have you join me for a second. So take a big breath and just honor the magic that you are. Your life matters and you make a difference. Oh, na quella, ayo. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Hey, 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 yo, hey, yo. Hey, Hishkama, Weo, Weo, Wane, Wane, Hoya. Hey, yo, Hoya, hey, yo, Waya, Waya, Wayo. Oh, hey, yo, ya, hey, yo. Oh, hey, yo, ya, hey, yo. Hey, Yahweh, Yahweh, oh, Yahweh, oh. Hey, Yahweh, oh, Wane, yo. Komakuya, cheya, hey, yo. Hey, yo, hey, yo. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. Oh, yo, mama, maquelo. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, hey, yo, oh, yeah, hey. Hold you, Yasin. Take a breath. Just give thanks to all that touches your heart. Give thanks for your journey in this world, for the nature, for the seen and the unseen, for the incredible things that challenge us into becoming who we really are. I honour your courage and thank you for listening.
Great, thank you so much for that. And when you do the drums and the chanting and everything, what does that do? Does that summon the spirit or summon the body? What does it do?
Well, frequency is really what we're all made up of, and when we all resonate at a frequency as a physical human being. And when we get stressed or upset or depressed or sad or any of those things, or get in arguments with folk, or things are disturbing us, the frequency drops, and it can be seen to be dropped. What people sometimes don't know is how easy it is to actually shift that frequency. So when you're sitting in a place that's really difficult for you, if you actually take yourself into that space of being able to reconnect, so that might be breathing and grounding into the earth, being with nature, singing what's on your mind, singing what's on your heart, making humming sounds if you're not comfortable with singing. It changes the frequency and it starts to rise. And we perceive with our minds at the level that our vibration is. So when we're low, it's much easier to get into negative thinking or get into game playing with people or arguments or difficulties. As we raise that vibration, we start to think more clearly because our head and our heart talk to each other, which means that we're present. And the biggest medicine of all is bringing ourselves present. And the sounds and the songs are used often to bring the discordance of heart and mind together, so people can start to be connected better and move forward. But I use it for lots of different things. I take people on journeys through the sound when they have an intention that they want to heal something or clear something. And that sound becomes like a wave to surf on, shall we say, or an eagle's wing to fly on, while you're going with an intention to heal something on a different level. That isn't necessarily head. It might be a visual journey. It might be a sound journey. So the sound and the drum can be used for grounding. The voice brings in different frequencies. There's many different ways of doing that. But simplistically, everyone's got a voice. And lots of us have been crushed and squashed about, oh, I can't sing. Everyone told me to shut up because I sound awful. If you've got any of those negative messages, trust me, you can override them, because I was told all of that stuff. I never believed I would open my mouth. 20 years, I missed record deals, all sorts, because I felt so inhibited and locked inside. But I knew in my heart I needed to sing. And my journey's been quite profound in finding that voice and helping other people to find their own authentic voice.
And so if someone comes to you today and say to you, Right. Jenny, can you help me out? What do you go through? Someone rings you up and they say, Jenny, can you help me out? So tell us what you what how you start with them and what is the process.
Well, to be fair, I would say it's completely different with every single person. And the reason I say that is because I don't use a prescription. I have a lot of things to draw on over the years, but everybody's different and everybody comes with a different thing. And sometimes people come and they don't even know what it exactly is that they're looking for to help them be more happy in their world and their journey. So I listen, I create a sacred space, which means like we deal with where we are, how that person's feeling comfortable in that space. Mention things like confidentiality so that that person feels held. Look at any issues they might have about being there, because it takes courage. And then we work in many different ways. So I might work through talking, I might work through voice, I might work through drum, I might work through helping people be creative and reconnect their spiritual and creative sides, start to see the gifts that they've got that perhaps they've forgotten or don't even know that they have, because it's so easy to do that, especially in this current world of stress. So it's almost like, like, I'm going to let you know, and we're going to explore together the magic that you carry and what do you want to do with it in this world. What would you love to do that you're not doing that would bring you back into your heart and your power? And as I say, I work in many, many different ways. Sometimes it's out in nature. I really am very sort of flexible according to what people need, but we can achieve an awful lot online as well, which I never realized that you can translate more subtle things through the screen. And so I do a lot of work with people on the screen, and sometimes we combine it with communicating while they're out in nature and go on a little journey that way. Yeah. So, and as I say, my background is counseling, psychotherapy, and shamanic healing. So I kind of work on a multi-dimensional way. So it depends where people are in their world and what makes sense to them, and I meet them where they are.
Okay, great, brilliant. And do you have a book out?
I've got a book coming out probably we're thinking it's probably going to be the end of November. And it's a memoir in a book with 3 other people. And the book's going to be called Phoenix Rising. And the chapter I've written is kind of about this accident and really what we're talking about on this show, really. How do you turn trauma to treasure and become your own medicine when adversity's knocked you for a six? And that's called A Pearl from the Wreckage. And there's also a song which is out at the moment. It will be on a bigger release, but for the moment it's on Bandcamp. And if anybody's interested to check it out, it's Jenny Lynne Sessions, jennylinsessions.bandcamp.com. The song is called Thank You for My Life, Great Spirit. And no matter how bad things are, sometimes, while we're breathing, we've got life, we've got choice, and we can transform things. And I just want to kind of float that idea that even when you think you're up against the worst thing possible, there's always a door in the wall if you want there to be one. So remember, you paint that door in if you feel there isn't one, and you'll be able to walk through it and get the support that you need if you need support.
Brilliant, Jenny. Brilliant. We love having. It's really good to have you on. And don't forget, guys, if you want to go and talk to Jenny, you can go by Facebook, or do you have a website, Jenny?
Yeah, my Facebook page is Jenny Lynne Sessions, and you'll see Genix in brackets. My website, which is kind of like being sorted out at the moment, but you can go to it. It's Jenny Lynne Sessions. No, hang on, Jenny Lynne Sessions. Oh heavens! Bear with me a minute. It's completely gone out of my head. I think it's Jenny Lynne Sessions. Become your own medicine.co.uk. If you put becomeyourownmedicine.co.uk, you should find it. It's complete. I've completely blanked it, so maybe I can give it to you, Steve, and you could.
Yeah, give it to me later on. So
But
let's go to the questions, because we've got a few questions before we finish.
sure.
Let's go for the questions. Here we go. Here we go. Beverly wants to know, does drumming relieve stress?
Was that Beverly?
Yeah.
Hi, Beverly. It certainly does. You know what? It's so good to have a drum. You can improvise with a drum. You know, you can make something, you can put, you know, pots or water bottles and all sorts. But I would always recommend to people to get a Native American drum. You can get some that are made synthetically so that you can work with them outside, because real skin drums tend to go a little bit flabby when they're damp. It's not usually a problem, but you have a choice. And to just get your beater and your drum and sit for a while and just feel your way into it. So it's like, it's the most beautiful thing, because it's a bit like it's a reflection of your own heartbeat. You can play for a little while and then you start to feel energy change. It's absolutely an energy changer. If you put your intention, yeah.
Is drumming good for your health?
It's so good for your health, and it's actually been documented about how good it is for your health. And when you do shamanic work, I would drum somebody on a journey and explain all about that. But there's a frequency and a kind of speed of beat, and that particular beat allows you to drop your stress. But everybody can find their own way with the drum, as well as you can learn things. But I would always say, get your drum, and intuitively, or even if you're banging on a table, just let yourself feel a rhythm and your energy will start to rise. It's a beautiful thing to do, and it definitely is good for your health. Yeah.
Brilliant. Luke wants to know, is drumming spiritual?
In my world, absolutely. Yeah, I spent many years with the indigenous elders of different tribes, and the drum is basically their medicine. You know, the drum is a very sacred tool. The drum is one of the four major parts of that spirituality, and it's definitely spiritual, because you can use a drum to enter different realms. You can just use a drum to ground yourself here, and you can sing on the drum, you can vision with the drum. So absolutely, it's a spiritual tool.
Brilliant. Look, we ran out of questions. People are saying, asking you to come back and everything, found you interesting. So if you don't mind, if we can have you back sometime, I'd be so grateful.
I'd be very happy to come back, and thank you people for being here.
Brilliant. So that was Jelly Lynn Sessions. Don't forget, guys, please contact her. I tell you what, if you're listening at home on your radio, you missed a treat. It's been really, really good. And in the meantime, I'm going to go because I've got another show at 11 o'clock. But in the meantime, we're going to go to some adverts, bit of news, and I'll be back shortly at 11 o'clock with some more guests. But in the meantime, thank you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Steve. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, people.